Just waiting on somebody to start watching. Good evening. Welcome to 605 Pickleball Live. This is Rob Noonan. Everyone calls me Nooner around here, so that's why you see it in the bottom left-hand corner. Tonight's event is going to be pretty special. We have has become a good friend of mine. His name is Mark Dennis. He's from Dell Rapids. And I met Mark a while back. He just started coming out and playing, and he is doing a fabulous job right now bringing pickleball into the city of Dell Rapids. So we'll probably be talking quite a bit about how pickleball is growing in Dell Rapids and how Mark is going to go about getting more venues to play outside or indoors or whatever the case may be. As of always, I started this about a month ago. Actually, this is my 4th episode. And I just thought I would try to find another way to promote the sport of pickleball outside of the Sioux Falls area. Everyone knows that Sioux Falls is growing big time in pickleball. And I think we have like 600 club members. We probably have 800 to 900 people that play pickleball in a whole. So this is just another way to reach out to people outside the city of Sioux Falls and the surrounding areas to play some pickleball and help grow their each community's pickleball in their area. Just a short note that next week I'm going to have Dustin Bangard from Huron, South Dakota. They've been playing. We've seen a few of the Huron players come back and play at the Pentagon tournament, and I think they've might have even played in a couple of the Vera tournaments that we've had also. So next week will be Dustin Bangard of Huron. But tonight we have Mark Dennis, and if anybody that's out there in the viewing area, you'll know when you meet Mark, he's a character in himself. He asked me if it would be all right if he was drinking beer while we do this interview, and I said, well, I'll join you. So I'm having a skip day in Mark's honor. So, well, without further ado, we'll bring in Mark.
Thanks, Rob.
Beer's on you.
Yeah.
All right, so everyone, this is Mark Dennis. Mark, why don't you quickly just start out with, how long have you been playing? How long have you been playing pickleball, and how you all started and where you went about it and stuff like that.
So I think I started playing pickleball around October of 2020. The pandemic came and it was tough to make a 30-pack last more than a week. So I was like, I got to get out of the house and do something. So I started picking it up on YouTube just to see what was out there. And then noticed some people in town were playing. Started talking to a few people and got involved. And then slowly started inviting some of my friends to come join us. And it's just kind of grown from there. And then after a while, heard there was some stuff happening in Sioux Falls. So started playing some Terry Redlands, stuff like that. The Great Life in the morning once in a while. And then played in a couple tournaments. And we just kind of let it grow from there. And it's been organic. We encourage people to bring a friend, put a paddle in their hand and kind of show them the ropes a little bit. And then hopefully they bring a friend and it just continues to grow.
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of fun.
So when did you first decide to kind of take the bull behind with the reins and try to find, like, I'm guessing the first thing you tried to find was an indoor facility somewhere in Dell Rapids?
So I was kind of lucky because we had an indoor facility. Anybody that knows Dell Rapids, there's a River Community Church here, and it's the old elementary school. So some of the ladies that were playing and some of the retirees were playing there in the mornings, and then they put on a couple nights. So we play there Monday and Thursday nights, and it's 2 small courts. One's a full-size court, and then the other one's kind of shoved back into the corner. It's about 8 inches narrow and a foot short. So we're kind of cramped for space in there, but we make it work. and they already had that venue secured. And then Jody Shoemaker was like, "Hey, we got to have something else to play like on the weekends here." So he reached out to the AD, and we have uh, the new elementary school. We're able to get 3 courts in there, and we have that Saturday mornings and then late Sunday evenings.
Yeah.
So we've been fortunate there. So it hasn't been just all me. It takes a village, right?
Yep.
And
Exactly.
it's who you know. And Jody's, he refs for those guys, so it's a natural. Go take care of it, Jody, and see what you can get.
Yeah.
So that's been good.
It's kind of interesting because I know I've been out there a few times to play with you guys out there, and you just look at the gymnasium and you just got to tell yourself, God, can't we get 4 courts in there?
Yeah.
And sometimes I still think if we turned them around and went the long way, the long basketball hoop way, if we couldn't still go 2 that way. But I don't know.
Yeah, there's our basketball court is 80 feet on that one, so I don't know
Yeah.
how that works out. I think we need 44 feet plus
Yeah.
some backstops or some
Yeah.
serving
But I mean,
areas
all the way from wall to wall behind the
from
basketball hoop.
from basketball court line to basketball court line, and then there's this much space, and it wouldn't leave you much between them either.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. They when they built that gymnasium, they must have not have really done their math on that one because it just seems like it's for how big it is. It's really quite small if you think about it. I mean, like
Yeah, because
it's
it's
like
pretty
Terry
wide.
Redland. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Terry Redland. I mean, when that curtain is gone, you can get 6 courts on there, and it
Yep.
seems like that gymnasium's bigger.
Yeah, it feels bigger.
Yeah,
I just think it's
it
because of the
feels
orange
bigger.
bleachers that I lose
Yeah.
the balls in.
Yeah, exactly. So, what have you done so far as of right now? You're just kind of doing word of mouth as far as getting people involved or trying to come out and play pickleball in Dells.
So we started a Facebook page, and we've been having a lot of people join that. So I think we have 102 members on that Facebook page, and we see anywhere from 20 to 30 people show up. So we have a pretty good following. It's kind of sporadic for some, and others are there, 3 or 4 times a week. We have some family members. Like tonight, we were playing in that little gym, and there was 13 of us, and 2 of the people were new. So
Yeah.
one was there last week and brought a friend. So now we've got 2 new people that are younger coming on board. I think they're enjoying it and hanging out with the old people is kind of fun.
Yeah. So have you? Is there an opportunity to maybe pick or make one of those? I mean, I know that how you guys are when you go there. I mean, there's always people there, but I was just wondering if there's an opportunity to maybe get a different night where it's just strictly beginners. Get them in there, teach them the rules. So that sort of stuff.
If we had a big influx, we'd try to make something work, whether that would be a Friday night or some other time. What we've talked about doing a little bit up there at the new elementary school where you get 3 courts is on a Sunday night, have a little extended time where new people can come and you kind of show them the rules and that type of stuff. So they're just not thrown into the fire.
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure some of that stuff out. It's some growing pains, but it's good pains to have. The
Yeah.
more people we get playing, the more traction we get in town. And we have people coming from Flandreau, Crooks, Baltic, all the way down to Renner to come here and play on a Saturday morning.
Oh, don't forget us Sioux Falls people.
Yeah. Sometimes I try to forget you guys. But no, it's good people.
Yeah. So why don't you tell everyone if Jeff's there, tell him to get you another beer because that one's empty. He can be your waitress. But why don't you tell everyone how it came about where you guys found someplace to play outdoors?
So we have some tennis courts here down by the park. I don't know if a lot of people have been here or not, but down by the river, they got an old bathhouse. We have a tennis court, and we just kind of basically took over the tennis courts. Yeah. We taped some lines down first, got with the city and said, hey, can we do some painting? And they said, yeah, we'll get to it. So we taped and went, and the next time we went down there, all the lines were gone. And thank you. And then all the lines were gone. They power washed So we pulled the nets down and they got the paint down, and we had 2 courts there, which was kind of nice. But then we also painted on the back sides of those courts. So from the tennis line, you got your kitchen, your playing area. We did another 2 sets of kitchens and then more playing area, so we can get 4 courts down there, which is nice this summer. But we wanted to have it set up also that if somebody showed up, didn't have a net, right, they
Yep.
could use that tennis net to play. So we're trying to make it easy and accessible for people to play. But we'll put a box down there with some nets in it or something this summer. We're going to have to, because as many people as we're getting, I can see a lot of people wanting to play.
Yeah. I do know that with being out there playing, how quickly the concrete out there eats up new pickleballs. It tends to shred them up pretty good. So the concrete's obviously been there for a very long time. But if I remember right, there's not a lot of cracks in that.
No, it's good solid concrete, and there's some attachment to those tennis courts where the city's not willing to say, "Hey, pickleball people, just take it over." We've had some interactions with the city to say, we're playing here about 400 hours a month if you divide it out by person. We don't see anybody playing tennis, that type of stuff. So we're making a move on that, but there's some attachment there I just haven't quite put my thumb on yet.
Yeah.
And it would be nice if we could redo that or add to it and get 6 courts down there.
Yeah.
And then fences between.
Yeah. But I still think now easily you could get 4 courts. Just how far back on that one end is. It just seems like you could possibly get. I know you can get 4 in easily with the nets going across and using those as dividers. And you guys have enough fence all the way around to help with the balls moving around and stuff like that too. Where do you think? Do you think that at some point in time that you guys will be able to hopefully grow enough to where that even 4 courts will be where you're going to need to go to the city and get, hey, we have over 100 people out here playing on 4 courts. 4 courts is 16 players, and you got a big line,
Yeah, I think it'll happen at some point, especially the way pickleball continues to grow. So it's just getting the right people involved. And we have, Dell Rapids is such a nice little community, Rob, in all honesty. We have the St. Mary's Catholic Church. We have we have the St. Mary's School. We have the public school. Those people get along real well. And that's a huge draw to this town that a lot of other areas like Harrisburg or T don't have, right?
Yeah.
We have school options here. So we draw in a pretty nice family setting. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And we got some pretty decent parks. They put a lot of work into our bicycle paths, things of that nature. And it just continues natural progression. My goal would be not to have it down in the park, would be to put it in another park somewhere in town, just to get away from that river. So if we had a bunch of fences, we wouldn't have to be replacing fences and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But there's something down there about the river that's just pretty relaxing too,
Yeah.
We got big trees that block the sun. And we have a lot of fun down there.
Yeah, it's definitely it.
We got lights.
You got something that Sioux Falls doesn't have. Lights on your pickleball court.
Go Dells.
Go Dells. Yeah, exactly.
Don't tell anybody. That's a prime secret.
What? I guess we got 8 viewers that are going to go spread the word that Dell Rapids has lights. And then plus, of course, a lot of people think that the park is kind of down by the river where, sometimes it floods or not. But actually, these courts are up by the road, up by the swimming pool. Those things aren't going to ever flood. You're going to have to get a lot of water to get up
there. We have seen some ice chunks, float in when we have a real wet spring and a lot of snow. But I have never seen ice all the way up to that road. So I think we're pretty safe. It's right by the pool. So it's got a nice little slope down to the ball fields and then down. Okay. So it has to come up probably about, I would say, 10 feet before it hit those courts.
So are you thinking that there's a possibility that you might be able to do some clinics or something like that, or maybe some like beginner pickleball courses or something that you could advertise in like the Dell Rapids paper or something like that? Have a pickleball day where people can come out and learn the basics, you know?
Yeah, when we were outside, we did add a Wednesday night, and
Uh-huh.
then we would take turns being there. Jeff Fegan did a lot of that as far as inviting new people to play, and then showing them the ropes.
Yeah.
I think that would be the ultimate goal is, because if you can keep those people that are new together, they're not getting discouraged or balls slammed at them and things of that
Yep.
nature. And we're kind of known as a Dell Rapids banging crew because we do hit the balls,
Yeah.
fairly
Yeah.
hard, not a lot of finesse sometimes. But
The
um,
core your bangers.
yeah, there's a new banner for you.
Yeah. We'll get that one made up pretty quick. I know some people.
But if we can have them together, right, and then they kind of filter out from that, then they have the basics and away they go.
Yeah.
Not that we don't want them during regular play. We'll take them anytime at this
Yeah.
point.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But to encourage them just to keep up and develop their skills, right?
Yeah.
We
Well,
also
obviously,
have talked about some clinics too, just recently, of who wants to be involved. If we get 8 people, I think one guy could handle that. If we get
yeah.
12, then of course we'd have to have 2 come in. But I've talked with Trevor a little bit
Yeah.
about that, and it seems like we're getting some interest. So I think we're going to try to put something together for the end of March. I think when
Yeah.
his schedule opens up a little bit.
Yeah, you're going to have that obviously in the school, which will be nice.
Yep.
Nice facility to have that. And I think the beginner players, I found out today. Like today, we were playing at the Pentagon, and there was a group of players that you could tell that they were pretty wet behind the ears,
Sure.
and stuff like that. So actually, it kind of worked out where we were able to get all 4 players on one court, and it made it a lot easier because you could see, because there was a game or two where I was sitting out watching, but you could see where they were helping each other out. Like they were saying, like, "Hey, you can't be in that kitchen. You're standing in the kitchen. You can't be doing that." One guy was talking to another guy about his serve, little things like that. And I think it's easier for the beginner players to learn the game and progress in the game playing other beginner players.
Sure.
People that are just coming out, because we all know that once we've been playing for a while and you go get on a court with a couple of newbies, the game isn't going to be much of anything for you, but you try to, help them out or give them a couple pointers here and there. But yeah, I think, and then, you got your critics. There's a certain critic that we know that just does not like to play with beginning players.
Too slow.
Too slow. They need to have their own night,
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that you got to do whatever you can to grow the sport. And I think having a clinic or even having a pickleball day. Does Dell Rapids have like a Courier Day or anything like that?
Yeah, we do have a Courier's Day during the summer, which is it's right after Cootie Days. Cootie Days is the big thing where we get in the park and they bring some type of amusement in, right? Whether it's a bunch of stuff from Iowa where they have the what do you call it? What family runs that? McCormick, something.
Yeah.
They bring all the stuff in and line the park. That's Cootie Days, and then after that, like a week later, we have Corey Days.
Yeah.
And we could do some type of tournament for Corey Days. We've talked about that. Maybe as we become a club, that would be a fundraiser to build some awareness.
Yeah.
And generate some money. But we're in the stages where we're just trying to get people to play.
Yeah.
And you talk about newbies coming, right?
Yeah.
I've had numerous people ask me, what do I need for equipment to show up to play? And you kind of hate to give them one of your nice paddles to play with, to bang around with. So I've been looking around for some used paddles, 4 to 6 used paddles we can shove in a bag and they show up and just hand it to them. So if you know anybody out there that's got 4 or 6 well-used paddles.
Yeah. I'm going to...
I'm putting it out there for the 8 people listening right now.
Yeah, the 8, 11. You're going to be in luck because Pro Light is coming out with a new type of carbon fiber paddle. I think it's the 2nd of March, and at that point in time, all the past carbon fibers that we have, we won't be selling anymore. so I won't need any of those demos. So you're gonna get at least 3 or 4 paddles for me that I'll just go ahead and donate.
We'll take them. Thanks.
Yeah, and so and then uh, your semi / business partner in pickleball, who's sitting to your right getting you fresh beers, he actually asked a question, and I'll show it because I don't know why he just didn't whisper in your ear.
I do think I do think we'd be able to host a tournament in the future, Jeff.
Yeah, with 4 courts and have it 3 days. Since you guys have lights, you could actually, yeah,
there's a draw.
Yeah, there's a draw there. You could actually do Friday night. You could start one at like 6 o'clock. Do Friday night 6 to 10. You could get up and do a Saturday and Sunday with 4 courts. You might be able to pull off a good mini tournament where you can at least get people to come out and play. Do you know offhand? Did you guys? Did the city of Del Rapids say anything to you guys regarding insurance?
No, we haven't crossed that bridge yet. Nope.
Yep. That'll probably be something that if you end up wanting to run any kind of a clinic out there, or you're going to have to, if you ever want to run a tournament, that's something that they'll probably, if you go to the city and say, hey, we're going to use this court for this facility for the whole weekend, they might come up with that. So I don't know. It's something you might want to write down and keep on the back burner if something like that were to happen.
And I know they do host a 3-on-3 basketball tournament.
Yep.
And some other things. So I wonder if we could fall underneath that same insurance umbrella.
Yeah, very much so.
So it sounds like I do have a tournament director though for when we have a tournament.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
The beer guy.
Yeah. Well,
thanks, Peaks.
Yep. Make sure you do it sober. Anyway, so what is the plan, or I guess I should say, what are you looking forward to as far as like spring and this summer? Your main goals are just try to get the city to paint the other 2 sets of courts, or
we're going to get those painted for sure. Yeah. And push comes to shove, we're not going to wait around. We're going to get it done as soon as it's warm enough to paint. We're going to get them done. Yeah. Whether we have to buy the paint as individuals or whatever, but
I know a guy.
We're growing fast enough where we need those 4 courts. Yeah. We need to put some boxes down there so the other people can have access to those nets and whatnot. And then we got to form some type of club.
Yeah.
So that way we can charge some dues and pay for some balls and stuff like that. That's our next step.
I think if you have any questions, you can ask the president of the Sioux Falls Area Pickleball Club. You can ask Mike Thielen, Larry Plucker. All those guys could be very beneficial as far as putting you in the right position to start up, and maybe give you some hints or some ideas on how to go about getting a club actually started. I mean, you've already got the Facebook page, which is a huge bonus to have the Del Rapids Pickleball Club. In fact, I think we have it still on here. So if you're looking for the Del Rapids Pickleball page, this is their cover page, and Mark said that he is going to have to upgrade it.
Yes, we will at some point.
But you guys have a good paddle holder there. So
we do.
Yeah.
It cost me $12.
$12.
$12 and some duct tape.
Yeah. Actually, that was let's see. I'm thinking that's your paddle and one of Jeff's paddles. I think it was also. I think that picture was taken when I came up and had a demo days up there one night. Huh? So, but we'll have to try to find some logo to maybe. And I'll talk to the guys at Sinorama. Sinorama just did this logo.
Looks good.
This logo on the back of here. They kind of whooped that up quick for me, so now I have an actual official logo for 605 Ball Live. But no, I think we could definitely get some stuff going. I know I had asked you before, so but I can't remember if he actually gave me the answer or not. But how many portable nets as of right now do you have on hand, or amongst all? You do have 4.
Yep.
So, and is
Yeah,
that count? Is that counting Fegans with wheels?
Nope.
Okay.
No, he's not giving that one up. I tried to wrestle it out of him. He said, "Nope, this is mine."
Okay.
He did donate his other one though that he was using, so we appreciate that.
Yeah.
And how we've been going about that is, some people will drop you a 10 spot for balls and things of that nature, and it hasn't been a financial burden, I would say, on anybody. We've kind of spread that around a little bit, and it's been good.
And you're doing okay on you're doing okay on pickleballs right now.
Yep. Yeah, we're doing pretty fair overall. Until we get outside, then you say, that just eats them up, right?
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, you should check out these lava pickleballs. They're pretty crazy.
Lava being the color, or lava being the brand?
Lava being the color. I tell you what, I'm gonna leave this, and you're just gonna talk about something for 30 seconds.
Okay. So we've talked a little bit here about pickleball in Dell Rapids, and it's been fun. Get out there. I guess one of the things I enjoy about it is playing with your family members. My 2 sons love to play. We have another family in town. One of their daughters that shows up just out of the blue because she wants to play with us, and it's just a good time. It's really one of the things that drives me is being able to spend time with my children with some activity that's fun, right? The other part of that,
that's what pickleball is it's so much fun with your family. So
family and friends. I just got a finger pointed at me. Family and friends. Oh. But Noah, my oldest son, he went over to Mitchell Tech, and we went over there and played in Hitchcock Park and got to know Gail and some of the other people.
Yeah.
Well, he's been going about every Wednesday. You get a little kind of worried when your kids leave the nest a little bit, but to know he's on a group chat with 15 adults that could give him some direction over there is really reassuring. And pickleball that to me, that's what it's all about, making those connections with people. Heck, we would have probably never met Rob.
Yeah.
People are great, and pickleball is a common glue that's just pretty dang fun.
Yeah. I mean, would you have thought, before when you were looking around trying to find something to do during COVID, that you would be this consumed with this sport?
No, it happens overnight. And my wife's like, if you buy another paddle, we're going to have trouble, but she does her thing as far as going swimming and everything else. And she's like, oh, it's one of those things where it's a good time. You get some activity, you get your steps in. I work from home. A lot of people work from home now.
Yeah.
Boy, you look at your step counter some days, you're like, dude, I got to do something.
Yeah.
In a couple hours, you can rip up 8,000 to 10,000 steps pretty quick.
Yeah. That's if you go to the net.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm working on that.
Yeah. No.
It's been really fun, and I feel better, right?
Yeah.
You get moving, and it's just good people.
Yeah.
Good people.
It's actually helped you out quite a bit, hasn't it, Mark? I mean, you're in better shape now than what you were 2 years ago. You think?
Well, maybe I've been drinking a lot more beer, I guess. On Thursdays, that's kind of where we end up. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
My background used to bicycle quite a bit. Right, I rode in Tour Dakotas for about 6 years, and that was my thing with my kids. Put a trailer on and ride 35, 50 miles and just have fun. But there again, boy, when you're done with 35, 50 miles, you kind of want a couple beers. So this kind of is taking the place of that a little bit, but I will need to get back on my bicycle come spring.
Yeah. Jim Festa was just saying that he's on paddle probation also. But at least with Jim, he is going to keep this paddle for a while longer. So hopefully.
Good.
I tell you, the first thing you find out is paddles are not like tennis rackets. When you bounce them off a fence post, they don't bounce. They shatter.
They give.
Yeah. That's how I got into selling paddles, is I came back and I had bought my first paddle, which is really kind of interesting. Is I went online and looked for a paddle company. There was a paddle company called Viking that was it was the pickleball version of Echelon, because my my brothers are big racquetball players and they all used Echelon. So I bought this Viking, and I think it weighed like 6 ounces. It was like swinging a fly swatter. And so then I went to First Christian Reform, and there's like 4 or 5 guys there all swinging pro light paddles, and I'm like, obviously this paddle must be the paddle of choice. So I went out and bought a Green Rebel, which I have. You can just see it right up here. That
Okay.
one's busted because I got angry with myself and I bounced it off a fence post. So one didn't last very long. So then I bought a Titan, broke that like 3 months later, and then I found out maybe I should start selling paddles because I'm going to be going through a lot of them. But actually, I haven't. Knock on wood, I haven't busted a paddle since I started selling paddles for Pro Light, and so it's just you can go through paddles quite a bit.
You can if you're not being careful.
Stephanie's chatting 5, and then she says, "But on 7." I'm guessing Stephanie Gerlach is on her 7th paddle. I can't remember seeing her go through that many paddles, but anyway.
She probably just wears hers out. She doesn't break them, Rob. She's a playing machine.
Yeah, she hits a ton, that's for sure. Do you see in Dell Rapids? Do you see any more opportunities other than just having a friend invite a friend, or is there something that you guys can put into a newspaper and say, hey, I don't know what the ads are, or you got a connection out there where you could actually get somebody to promote maybe a specific night? Because I really think one at a time is good, but to be able to really get it out there and promote it or to push it, or I suppose also with only 3 courts, you're pretty limited with how many people you can do.
Yeah, we are, and that's I would hate to get an influx of 25 people overnight.
Yep.
Because then what do you do with everybody, right?
Yep.
So I think growing it the way we have has been pretty good.
Yeah.
But I do like that idea of, especially once we get to the outdoors.
Yes.
Of putting
having that extra court
back to that Wednesday night, right? Because then it's wide open. You can do whatever you want. You can do it on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I can't remember what
people to play.
What was your guys' schedule during the summer? Was it any night?
We play Mondays and Thursdays usually, and then we were playing some Saturdays.
Yeah.
And then we had some retired ladies again playing those mornings. So they would get 4 to 6 of them, maybe even 8. A couple nets down, the way they went.
Yeah. And now you're a coach, I hear.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Nikki. We talk about family, right?
Yeah.
She has a little boy, and they live right across the street from the park, and they came over, and he's probably 10. And he started hitting the ball and just kind of put him into a game a little bit and showed him kind of how to hit. And I guess I kind of like that idea as we get older, right?
Yeah.
That time goes pretty fast. Someday he'll be the young guy on the court and I'll be the old man, and hopefully he asks me to play with him.
Yeah.
So it's fun just to have people play ball and just enjoy each other's company.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say,
because I don't know if I would ever picked up a paddle if it wasn't for COVID, right? I had other things going on and I was just like, dude, I got to get out of the house. Yeah, miss that social and thing, and it's really become a kind of a social outlet for me.
Mm-hmm. This is now this does not give this ball its due diligence. It's called lava, and this on the computer it looks orange, but it's literally lava. I mean, to me it looks like an orange red. And we played with it this morning out at Huther, and we played a few games with it. And I think almost everyone said that they like the visibility. I'm interested to see what it's like outdoors. It's a Franklin X40, just like the optic ones. Just gives you a different view of the ball indoors with the lights and everything like that. I figured people would like it because most people indoors play with the orange Onyx, except for you guys
Yep.
because it meshes with the bleachers.
It does.
I don't ever notice it. It's really crazy, but maybe it's because I'm not focused in on the orange bleachers. I'm just mainly focused on the ball coming off the paddle.
Or maybe I just lose it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Mark, I tell you what, I think we've kind of covered all the bases as far as pickleball is concerned in Dell Rapids and what we're going to try to do this summer. I know I will do whatever I can to help promote pickleball in Dell Rapids, especially this summer. I'll more than offer anytime you want to do a demo day or something like that. I'll surely do that. And if you guys are at that point in time where you want to run a small tournament, I'll help Jeff Fegan run a pickleball tournament, a mini tournament. I can set one up. I've run a couple of them for the Sioux Falls area pickleball club a couple of years ago, so we can definitely do something with 4 courts. And I think getting an actual tournament out there, even if it's a mini one, I think would be great for Dell Rapids, especially on a weekend. People are driving around or out riding bikes and everything, seeing all these cars and seeing a bunch of people playing pickleball. I think it would be nothing but good for the club itself. So.
Yeah, I think it would be as well. Anytime we can get that name out there, and like I say, we got people coming down from Flandreau to play, all the way up from Sioux Falls and around. We're just trying to do the best we can in the Sioux Falls area or the Dell Rapids area.
Yeah,
and I think I consider that area all the way down to that Crooks line and up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, how about before I let you go, why don't you let everyone know if they want to come play pickleball, where at, what time, what nights and days are available right now in Dells?
So we play Monday and Thursday nights. We only have 2 nets for those, and that's at the old elementary school from 6 to 8 p.m. And then the new elementary school, we have 3 nets set up, and that is Saturday mornings 8 to noon, and then Sunday evenings 6:30 to 8:30.
Okay. All right, and then and so with the 3 courts that are going out there now. All right, and then come springtime, once the snow melts, once it starts turning, 50, 60 degrees, we'll be
playing
out
outdoors,
playing outdoors under the lights.
Yeah, the lights of Dells. Don't tell anybody.
All right, well, Mark, thanks again for allowing me to do this. Just to try to get the word out and try to broaden the horizon of pickleball in Dell Rapids.
And I think you're doing a great job with your podcast. Keep it rolling. And when I think of all the areas that we went to and played, we've been all the way from Mason City, Iowa to, Rapid City. When we get in the car and go somewhere, man, that's the second thing that goes in after my CPAP machine is the paddles, because you can pick up a game anywhere and it's a good way to meet people.
Yeah.
So I think you developing this and sending it out there is pretty big.
Well, thanks.
So thanks for inviting us along.
And you just never know. You bring your paddles and you might end up being in a pickleball tournament.
Yep.
Like you guys did out in Rapid City last year.
Yeah, we went to a wedding and ended up getting silver. That was a good time.
Just to stop by and, hey, you want to play in a pickleball tournament? That'd be great. All right. Well, everyone, thank you very much for hanging in and listening to Mark and I talk about pickleball and how it's growing in the city of Dell Rapids. And if you guys are interested in coming up on weekends or during the weeknights, make sure you get a hold of Mark. If you don't have his number, get a hold of me. I got his number. I'll set you up. And I guess all we can say is thanks for joining us. And I'm sure I'll probably see you this weekend if I don't have to work.
Well, now on Saturday, they do have a basketball tournament.
So that's right. Basketball tournament this weekend.
So we'll be playing Sunday night, though.
Sunday night.
Yeah, feel free.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and then anybody that wants to come up, please bring some masking tape, 2-inch, please. Donate.
Yeah.
donate some tape, because out there they do have to tape the courts every. Do you leave them on Saturday?
So we leave them down Saturday and then pull them up
Down
Sunday
Saturday
night.
and pull them up Sunday night. So yeah,
Yep.
tape is always most welcomed when you come out to play out there. If you want to stop at Ace Hardware, Menards, grab some tape. So once again, Mark,
Appreciate it.
thanks again, and
Thank you, Rob.
probably see you Sunday night.
All right, we'll see you then.
All right, bye bye.
Thanks.
All right, well, thank you guys. Thanks very much for hanging in and watching another episode of 605 Pickleball Live. Next week, at the same time at 7:30, I am going to have Dustin Bangard from Huron, South Dakota. Huron is doing quite well with pickleball right now, and they're slowly but surely growing. They have some facilities, I think indoor facilities right now that they're playing at. So I'll be interviewing Dustin next Thursday, and then the following Thursday, I'm going to take my first day off of the podcast because I'm going to be in Arizona. Volunteering for Jigsaw Health and the PPA at the pickleball tournament in Mesa, Arizona that week. So I will be taking that Thursday off unless there's somehow or another I can find some way of doing a broadcast down there without my laptop, without a microphone, without my headphones. Maybe I can do a quick interview with Zane Navitral or Pro down there or whatever. I don't know. We'll surely try to work it out the best that we can. But until next week, everyone get out there, play pickleball, introduce a friend to the sport if you can. I have another childhood friend of mine that just reached out to me after this past tournament in Okoboji, and she says, "Rob, I want to learn this sport," and so I'm going to hopefully be teaching Beth how to play pickleball when she gets done with her activities and once I get back from Arizona. So everyone have a good time playing pickleball, and just remember, it's not about winning or losing. It's about having fun and making memories. Thanks a lot. Have a good night.